All right, so get ready, because today we're going deep on Hisaab Barabar.
Hisaab Barabar.
Yeah, it's this Bollywood action comedy, right?
Okay.
But get this. It takes on corruption.
Ooh, interesting.
I know, right? And they wrap it all up in this satirical package, so should be a fun one to, really think about.
Sounds like it.
We've got this really great review from MovieKaTicket.com.
Yeah.
And they loved it.
Okay.
So let's unpack this thing and see what we got. What makes Hisaab Barabar a must-watch? What jumped out at you from the review? What's the story, the core of it?
I think what's fascinating is that they take this, very relatable situation, right?
Yeah.
You've got this ordinary guy, Harate. He's a railway ticket examiner.
Okay.
And he finds a discrepancy in his bank account.
Uh-huh.
Tiny little error.
Yeah.
And that becomes this thread that pulls him into this massive, web of financial corruption.
Oh, wow. Like finding a loose thread on a sweater and you give it a tug, the whole thing unravels.
Exactly.
That's wild.
Yeah.
You mentioned Radhe, and he's played by Madhavan.
Yeah.
I've always loved him. He's so good.
He is.
How's he in this?
Brilliant, as always.
Yeah.
The review highlighted, how he captures this determination. Like, Radhe is so determined to expose the truth.
Yeah.
But he also has this quick wit about him.
I like that combo.
Yeah. And, he's going up against Nitin Mukesh, who plays Mickey Mehta, the corrupt banker.
Oh, wow. So good guy, bad guy, all set up.
Yeah.
Now, what about the tone? Because, this is a comedy, but it's also dealing with some heavy stuff, corruption. How does Hisaab Barabar kind of walk that line? Humor, but also real world problems.
Well, and that's what makes it so clever, so thought-provoking, is they're using that humor to highlight how absurd corruption is.
Yeah.
Particularly the contrast between, this lavish lifestyle of the corrupt elite and the everyday struggles of, normal people.
That's that's so real.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, sadly. But, it gets you thinking about the systems and how those can be manipulated. I think that's a pretty universal theme.
Absolutely.
No matter where you live. Now, this film, it premiered at the International Film Festival of India.
It did. Big deal.
Huge. And it's also on ZEE5, one of the biggest streaming platforms in India.
Right.
What's the audience reception been like?
Well, it seems like it's really striking a chord.
Good.
The reviews are overwhelmingly positive.
That's great.
From critics, viewers on platforms like MovieKaTicket.
Oh, wow.
They're praising the storytelling, how engaging it is.
Yeah.
But also how it just tackles corruption head on. It doesn't shy away.
It's got to be more than just the message, though.
True.
It's got to be delivered well.
Absolutely.
So how about the filmmaking? The review mentioned the director, Ashwni Dhir, and cinematographer Santosh Thandial. What are they bringing to the table?
Well, Dhir's known for his comedic timing.
Yeah.
And he brings that to Hisaab Barabar as well. But there's this edge to it.
Okay.
There's a scene, as it's described in the review, where Radha's chasing down a laid through the streets of Delhi.
Easy.
It's chaotic. And Thandial's cinematography, it captures that energy. It's not just visually stunning. It adds to that sense of urgency. Like, you're caught in this system that feels out of control.
I love how film can do that. Just visually amplify the message.
Yeah.
It's not just what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's how. So, okay, we got corruption, action, satire, social commentary. Sounds like Hisaab Barabar is doing a lot.
It is. And from what I'm gathering, it seems to be hitting the mark with audiences.
That's awesome.
Entertaining, thought-provoking, maybe even inspiring.
Definitely gets you thinking. I mean, if a regular guy like Radhe can stand up to a corrupt system, what does that say about the power one person has?
It's a good question.
Something to think about.